through the point and catches violently.
Back, they gonna finish on fire too, make it 3.
Oh, rise for justice.
Good evening, Washington Justice fans. Happy 4th of July. Thank you all so much for tuning in. My name is John Fiasco Byram alongside Joey Courtside King McDermott, and we are with OTN Media, and we are so happy to be here with you this Sunday evening on Independence Day, celebrating the 4th of July, but also hopefully celebrating a Justice win, as the Justice are going to be going up against the Florida Mayhem. Joey, obviously, the match this past Friday didn't go the way anyone really expected against Atlanta. Atlanta Reign came out there a little bit tougher than what we thought. So kudos to them. It was a very impressive performance by the Reign, but we're looking for the Justice to bounce back today against a foe that they've played multiple times already in the Florida Mayhem. I may have froze on his end. Yeah, I probably froze on his end. He's probably waiting for that response to come through real quick. There you go. Yeah, he shook his head. It's like, that's exactly what happened. Joey, we're playing Florida again.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to be happening right there. And I was like, should I just continue and assume it did? But I did not. So here we are, though. Yes, Florida. So looking at the Florida versus the Justice, Florida ended up taking the first win back in May in the May Melee qualifiers. It ended up being a 3-1 in favor of Florida. We got a nice rematch opportunity a couple weeks later, though, in early June. I believe it was like around week 10, if I remember correctly. Week 8, rather. That one came out, and the Justice looked much better. We ended up going 3-0 in that match. Absolutely dominated from map to map. We looked incredible against the Florida Mayhem. Now we're coming in up against a slightly different-looking Florida Mayhem team with Checkmate coming into the lineup, so that will mix things up a little bit.
Checkmate. Yeah, even though I feel like he's so new to the roster that even their social media manager got his name wrong today, calling him Chadmate. So I don't know if they're trying to say that Checkmate's a Chad, or I'm just not up to date with what's going on with their roster there. But yes, so today, and they also refer to us as America's team. So congratulations, Justice fans. We're America's team. I thought that was like a trademark for something else, but it's whatever. It's fine.
I mean, we got the colors working in our favor. We're
do have
based
the
in
colors
Washington. We got a nice little shield working. It feels right.
Absolutely. It's going to be a very exciting matchup today. Hopefully looking to split this week, obviously picking up the loss back on Friday, looking to even it out this week with the win here at the Summer Showdown, as we are still trying to jockey for positioning to go into that Summer Showdown as well. Just a quick overview of where the teams currently are at. The Florida Mayhem are currently 4-7, and they're 10th in the Western Conference. The Washington Justice slightly a little bit better. They're 5-4, currently sitting in the 8th spot in the Eastern Conference as well. So, a lot of teams still fighting for those final positionings going into the playoffs. What we're going to do real quick is we're going to toss it over to Watchpoint. They're starting to break down our matchup today. So we'll see you on the other side.
Up against Florida's new unorthodox main tank, Checkmate. Now, I do have to say, though, and I might just speak for all of us, I just take that liberty. I don't think neither Washington nor Mayhem really impressed any of us with their recent performances. Like, there was nothing where you get too excited about. So what is this match going to boil down to, Reinforce?
I actually think it's going to be a pretty competitive match, Zoe. I think it's easy in this meta to look poor if you're actually losing some of these games, especially when you play the Reinhardt compositions and then you're playing with the Symmetra as well. Because what happens is you try to make a move with the Symmetra teleporter, right? Like, hey, we're going to take this position, and then the better team, they just get the better position, and they're essentially the ones checking you without you realizing, and that's why I think Checkmate is such an ironic name, because he doesn't care for people out checking you with Symmetra teleporters. He just goes and tries to checkmate you immediately, not caring for the overall position. So I actually do think that Washington Justice, while they did lose to the Atlanta Reign, they're still a very competent team. They got some incredible skill on this team, and I think against an easier opponent with Florida Mayhem and Checkmate as their main tank, I actually think that this might become very competitive, and I don't really have a favorite. I think it's a bit of a 50-50 flip. I went with the Florida Mayhem on the basis of that I think that Checkmate brings this aggression and confidence to the Florida Mayhem. And knowing Washington Justice so far this season, they are a bit more timid, sometimes unsure, a bit slower paced. But I think aggression is going to pay out for the Florida Mayhem in this match.
Yeah, and the wise man here on the desk once said he wants to see less checking and more mating as well. So let's see if that's what we're going to get. That did happen, actually.
See it.
It's time to mate. This one escalated very quickly. It is time for bold predictions. That wasn't it. Presented by Pringles. Costa, why don't you have a go at it? Mine was, I was so close. I was so close.
You were close. You were close. Well,
very close.
Mine is quite bold because I don't know if this is going to happen. But you know, it's 4th of July. We're patriotic over here. Decay's obviously very patriotic as well. So, 1776 is when the U.S. was founded, or you know, independence, all that good stuff. And that
You're
means
on your own on
that
this
Soldier 76 is going to play the game. I think Decay is going to lock the legs and run it down.
Is that
trying
why?
to catch up to checkmate. I think it's going to happen.
Is that why it's Soldier 76? I thought it was because of the
It
gas
has a
station.
number 76.
Yeah, it's.
Gas
I don't know much about lore. I can't help you on that one, Johnny. I'm sorry.
No, I think, I mean, since he's literally the Captain America of the Overwatch League, one might, or not just the league, of Overwatch in general, one might assume that's where the number was borrowed from. Might be the same for the gas station also. It's just the most patriotic gas station you can possibly imagine. Now I know someone who's burning, like actually burning to say some things. And that's Mitch, of course, and Mr. X. Mitch, you just died inside a little bit. Did I see that correct in the corner of my eyes?
Well, not really. No, I'm just not. I don't know anything about this kind of stuff. I'll be honest. Like, obviously there aren't many Americans left on this show anymore. We keep replacing them with superior models. So I have to ask this guy.
Left on this show.
Yeah, let's ask Matt about history. That'll go great.
I know lots about history. I was wondering, I was like, did we have a Cuss the Keg Friday during the break with the prediction? You know, getting the...
All right, we're going to leave it there, replacing the Americans with superior models. How dare they on the 4th of July, Joey? Just very interesting takes there. Apparently, the casters of Overwatch League didn't realize that Soldier 76 was named after the year America won its independence in 1776. Apparently, they thought it was a gas station. Just more of a reason why you guys are here watching the Washington Justice co-stream and not the main broadcast there. But I will say this. If you are looking to get those Overwatch League tokens, unfortunately, you are going to have that up at least in a side tab. Just go ahead and hit mute on it real quick. Come back over here. That way you can still get your Overwatch League tokens for having that main stream up. Please do make sure your Blizzard account is linked to your YouTube account as well. That way you can collect those sweet, sweet Overwatch League coins for in-game skins. Joey, so we heard a little bit here from the Watchpoint desk. Both teams didn't exactly perform their best earlier this week. Underwhelming performances from both. Sounds about right. You know, we know what this Justice team is capable of. I'm trying to get the stream loaded up here again as well. You know, I'm expecting a bounce back here. I don't necessarily think Decay is going to come out on Soldier 76. I would expect Decay to play a little bit more Tracer today.
Yeah, I think we saw him start to pull out the Tracer on Friday. It looked like it could come back. It kind of depends on the map pool as well, though, what we end up drawing here. Lineup-wise, Decay, Assassin, Mag, Fury, Bebe, and Closer. No changes from what we saw on Friday. Again, we've seen this team perform at a very high level. They've come out and taken quite a few maps off some of the best teams in the league in general, off against San Francisco, off against Dallas. They know how to pop off when the potential is there. It just comes into what does the map play look like now that hero bans are out. I feel like they're still trying to settle into what this new meta, in a sense, is. And we didn't quite see them settle in very well on Friday. So hopefully today they're a little bit more comfortable.
Absolutely. And, you know, that's where it really comes down to. And we kind of saw it at the beginning of the June joust. Also, we touched a little bit on Friday. That, you know, whenever you have a major meta change, like whether you're having a hero pool or you're coming out of a phase that has a hero pool, it takes time to figure out what exactly that meta is going to be. You know, sometimes it may be just be as easy as reverting back to what we had in the May Melee. Obviously not. The game has changed and progressed over time. Stats have changed. Patches have come out. It is what it is. So, you know, still trying to figure out what the current meta is. This team usually figures it out after a week. Is it too late by then after a week? Maybe, maybe not. It really does depend. But their journey to the Summer Showdown really has to start today. They can't afford to go down 0-2 this week and then going into next week. You know, it's going to be 2 tough matches next week as well. they desperately need to. I'm not gonna say desperately, but it would be definitely in their favor to pull out a win here today, and I feel like they can definitely do it against this Mayhem team.
You're telling me the team they want to win today, John? Is that what you're telling me over here?
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like a win
hopefully.
always out for sure. Again, as John said, it's not 100% give or take. Like if they lose, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, we as Justice fans, we here on the 4th of July, we want a win here. We see the map pool up there as well now. Oasis, Route 66, Anubis, Eichenwald, and Nepal. Quite a few maps in here. So if we look at the first 2 meetings between the two on Oasis, the Mayhem took the first one 2-1. In the second meeting, the Justice actually took it 2-0. So a split on Oasis. Overall, if you look at the captured points exactly, though, it is 2-3 in favor of the Justice. We have not faced them on Route 66 yet this year. Over to Anubis, we did face them. The Justice with a very, very strong stance there on Anubis, going 2-1. And then over to Eichenwald, the Justice also won that in their second meeting, 3-1 in favor of the Justice. So map pool-wise, we're looking pretty good in this matchup.
Yeah, no, Joey, correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm trying to go through my brain real quick. I think this is the first time we played on Route 66 this season.
It might. I feel like we played there once more, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know. I remember that billboard in that gas station from. Hey, speaking of gas stations, there you go, Watchpoint desk. You're gonna get your 76 gas station here today. Yeah. Anywho, but it just feels like on the Escort, map has been the map that has really kind of almost been the Achilles heel here for the Washington Justice. It either works for them or it just really, really, really doesn't work for me. That's what we kind of saw on Junkertown against Atlanta on Friday. Junkertown has not been a friendly map to the Justice. It's been a map that they've definitely struggled at. Pushing the payload has been a little bit more of a struggle than it has been to do other things in this game, like control or an assault map. For whatever reason, whenever it comes to pushing that cart, has always been a struggle here this season. So I'm hoping on Route 66 we'll see something a little bit different. We'll see a little bit more aggression, because that's what really hurt the Justice on Friday. Was the aggression of the Atlanta Reign really forced them into making mistakes. It felt like Atlanta had control, whether they're on offense or defense. The Justice had to adapt to what Atlanta was doing. A key to win here is you have to make the other team to adapt to what you're doing. You have to make them feel uncomfortable, make them make the mistakes, and you take advantage of those mistakes. I feel like if they can do that here today against this Florida Mayhem team, especially with Checkmate coming in, this is his 5th day with the team. It's his 5th day. He's had like 3 days to prep. He played yesterday, and then he's playing today. So he's still working his chemistry in, and you definitely need players to step up. And rightfully so. They're highlighting Mag, who is a Rookie of the Year contender. He is an absolute beast on Winston. Look at that. First in final blows, first in primal rage kills, first in primal rage efficiency, tied for 3rd in fewest deaths. I mean, and hero damage. He's a rookie. This is his first year in Overwatch League, and he is popping off. Mag on Winston is a big win factor, kind of like Decay on Tracer. Hopefully we can see a little bit of that Winston comp mixed in here today for this Justice team, and really make the Florida Mayhem feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, Mag had a tough time on Reinhardt last match on Friday. I'm curious if they do resort back to that Winston, or if they keep pushing forward with the Reinhardt, as it does seem like Reinhardt is going to kind of be that meta main tank, at least moving into the July or the summer season, rather. So looking at that, I think the other thing to highlight tank-wise is Checkmate. We mentioned that Checkmate is coming in. One of the issues we had on Friday was Gator played a very aggressive Reinhardt. Now you have Checkmate coming in as another aggressive tank. The Justice had a hard time answering that on Friday, so I'm curious to see what adjustments have been made since those Friday matchups versus what we're going to see today up against, again, another aggressive tank coming in Checkmate.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how the Justice handle this wild card in Checkmate, if you will. It's tough. You can only rely on what you did against this team so much. I mean, when you put a wild card in there like a Checkmate, a player you haven't seen so much film on, maybe you haven't been able to study him as much. It's definitely something like you have 1 day to go off of, and that 1 day is yesterday. And it looks like they are having some computer issues here, so they're running back and forth, playing all the happy 4th of July stuff, or maybe this is just their kooky little intro here. Well, I guess we'll soon find out. It's a lot of fanfare and parading going on here.
Refreshment of the Overwatch League.
But so it looks like they're going to go ahead and give it 2 minutes here. Looks like they are having some computer issues or connection issues here. Don't know whose side that is on. But they did put up a 2-minute countdown timer there, so we'll have to try to fill that time here with you guys. Here, if you're here in chat, again, thank you so much for joining the official co-stream of the Washington Justice on the official Washington Justice YouTube channel. If you guys have any questions, any comments, concerns, or anything like that, feel free to put it in chat. We'll answer the questions to the best of our ability. And as always, at the end of the match, we'll have the post-match press conference. If it is a win, there's a very good chance we'll get a player. If it is a loss today, there's a very good chance we will not get a player. So we'll tease it here a little bit. As of right now, going into today's matchup, we have been told if it is a win, so hopefully, fingers crossed, Bebe will be joining us for that post-match press conference. So, during this 2-minute countdown, which has about a minute left now, tell all your friends, tweet it out to your friends, text your friends, hop on Discord, tell it to your friends there too. That Bebe at the end of this match, if it's a win, will be joining us here on the post-game show to answer some questions as well. Will be a very fun, exciting time here on the official co-stream here for the Washington Justice. And since we have some time as well, we might as well just plug the next one coming up as well. That will be this upcoming Friday, July 9th. It's a 3 p.m. Eastern time game against the London Spitfire. Yes, the country America won its freedom from in England will be facing them, not on the 4th of July. Scheduling couldn't work out that well, but we'll be facing them roughly several days later here on July 9th. All right, so the countdown is coming to an end. We'll see here quickly what is happening here, and hopefully we'll be heading in-game. First map being Oasis. I'll be super excited there. Top on there. Okay, so it looks like we are coming back. It looks like just looking at those face cams, we'll show you exactly what we're looking at as well here, trying to figure out when we'll be hopping back in game. So before we saw in the same camera frame as Assassin looking at the computer. Don't know if Assassin was the one having issues or not, but it looks like whatever it was, it looks like it is fixed because it looks like they are showing us the maps once again. We'll be heading in. So it looks like Oasis being the first one up. That lovely, lovely control map here on Oasis. Personally, one of my favorite maps in the game. A lot of fun to play on here. And a control map being probably the Justice's one of their better maps. They're very, very good at either capping it early or coming back very quickly, regrouping on defense to take the cap after the other team caps it early. It's a map that plays well to the Justice's skill set. Hopefully we see Decay on that signature Tracer. Tracer does incredibly well on this map as well, especially on control maps. I even think Winston would be another great pick to come out here as well. For Mag, we'll see if that comes out as well. Again, the new meta still kind of being flushed out as we go along here, seeing teams try out new things. We're seeing a lot of teams also bring things that we had in the meta that we saw for the June Joust. We're seeing Echoes come back as well, even with Tracer and Sombra back being available to be selected. So it's always interesting seeing how these teams feel it out. Symmetra obviously is a great pick. Use a teleporter, try to get to the point even quicker. So, that's obviously going to be an early pick. Will Decay and BQB stay on it after they use the teleporter? Maybe, maybe not. We saw Decay stick on Symmetra for pretty much the entire series against Atlanta. And as of right now, looks like both will be sticking on Symmetra for this early fight here on the first map of Oasis.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have standard comps, the same comps we had from Friday for both sides. They're going to go ahead and run that back. Decay is on that Symmetra, as is BQB, like you mentioned. And we do have Mag on that Reinhardt instead of Winston.
And with the control point unlocking, it's going to be Miami capping it first, winning that initial team fight. And Justice will go and have to regroup. And Decay already making that switch, going over to Reaper. Decay popping off on Reaper quite well, had several Death Blossoms timed out very well back in the June Joust. So definitely take a look. You're Justice fans, you already know to take a look at Decay. But keep an eye on that. As soon as that Death Blossom is available, that is a massive game changer here for the Justice.
Yeah, absolutely. A number of ultimates coming across here as Mag doing some big damage on that Reinhardt, able to move on point, and the Justice should be able to recap here.
Yeah, Mag already off to a better start on Reinhardt, picking up a double kill here on that fight, and they're gonna go ahead and cap the point, allowing Florida only 23% on map 1 on their first point. So you have to be happy with that. The Justice making those initial changes to their lineup, really catching the Florida Mayhem off guard, and they're able to win it back pretty quick.
Looking at ultimates for this next fight, BQB with the Symmetra ultimate up, Yaki with the Mei ult as well, Gargoyle getting very close on Reinhardt, and they are going to have a Baptiste ult to work with too.
Reinhardt catching out a couple on that ult from Gargoyle. Yaki will go ahead and use the Blizzard as well, and that's going to be a team fight win for the Florida Mayhem. They'll go ahead and recap. This was going a little bit back and forth. You know, we heard Watchpoint talk about it just a little bit before, how both of these teams really struggled on the first match this week, which means, you know, if both the teams are still struggling, it could be a very, very close match, and that's kind of like what we're seeing right now. I'm not going to say either team is struggling, but both teams seem pretty fairly evenly matched right now, kind of trading back and forth about every 25% or so.
Yeah, both teams really playing around ultimates. We see it here again as the Justice pop the Lucio ult via closer. They're going to go ahead and move in, pop Assassin's ult as well, and wipe them to recap once again.
Absolutely, and Decay's all ready to go, and that's just going to be an absolute stomping by the Justice, and they'll go ahead and recap back, now going through 40%. 55% done for the Florida Mayhem. Again,
okay, now big change here, though, John. Look at all the ultimates available for the Justice. They did not have to use anything outside of the Lucio and Mei ult. This is very different than any of the recaps we've seen so far. They have a ton more to work with.
Absolutely. And they'll go ahead and use that Baptiste ult to try to engage. Going on the side, and that's a beautiful knockoff there from Mag. The charge into Gargoyle will send him flying. The Justice will be able to hold on. They'll retreat back to the point. That's a great hold for the Justice, now hitting 70% here on the first point on Oasis.
And again, feathering the ultimates, Decay's Reaper ult is up as well as Fury's Diva ult. Those are two ults that can very easily clear a point if used effectively. The thing to watch out for is Slime's Lucio ult, which is still quite a while away.
And there was Decay's Reaper. Using that death loss. Not picking one up, but Mag able to get the kill on Gargoyle as well. Now Decay demeching. Checkmate. Checkmate's actually going to switch back over. Oh, first second he switched over to Zarya. I thought he was going to try something a little bit different, but he went back to the Diva. So now the Justice have hit 99%. It is in overtime. One more team fight would do it. Fury and Assassin have their ults ready to go. Mag not too far away along with Bebe. Miami's hold on the point is about to come to an end here. It wouldn't last too long. The Justice have recapped back into overtime. Now it's desperation time for the Mayhem. They're trying to get back on point to reset that overtime meter, and they're just dying left and right. The Justice popping off. It's Mag swinging that hammer. It's Assassin and Fury and Closer taking out Slime as well, and point one on Oasis going to the Justice.
The hammer of justice has been swung down by Mag and Washington, taking the first point here. Point C down. Again, guys, last time these two teams met, or the last two times rather, it did go 1-1 here on Oasis. In the end, the Justice did end up with a slight map differential overall, as they did 2-0 in one of them, when the other one with the Mayhem went 2-1. So Justice pretty tight with Florida on this map overall, but coming out on the edge both times.
And again, highlighting Mag's play here on Reinhardt. Struggled a bit on Friday, but a great use of the ultimate into the Reinhardt charge. Gets rid of Gargoyle on the other end. Definitely a strong heads-up play from Mag on the Reinhardt as they go now rush into the second point here on Oasis. Justice with the advantage after taking the first point. Now, it's not quite Decay on Soldier 76. Instead, it's Assassin on 76. As Watchpoint has informed us, they're not up to date on the lore, so it's named after a gas station, not the year America got its independence. So Assassin being very patriotic here today on 76. Decay on McCree. Which is pretty America, if you ask me, McCree being the Wild West cowboy here in the game.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would have had the exception today where you could wear like the American flag McCree skin.
Oh, that was a great skin.
I mean, it is the same team colors, right? We could have made it work.
Pretty much. Blizzard, make it happen. Mag over here again on Reinhardt. Orisa trapped there in the corner. It's checkmate. Not going to last too long there. Will be sent back to the spawn. And Siaki now on Torbjorn. Justice capping the point first.
Yeah, nice early start here coming out from the Justice. Ultimate-wise, they will have Mag's ult as well as Fury's ultimate both available. Closer's getting pretty close to 80% with Decay and Assassin not too far behind. On the side of the Mayhem, they do have BQB's McCree ult up. Looks like they're going to have a Torbjorn ult up as well, but nothing else quite yet.
And good job on the Justice there to stagger the deaths for the Mayhem. They have to wait a little bit longer for their DPS to come back up. So that's going to allow them to tick away on that point a little bit more before the Mayhem are able to regroup. Now Mag being incredibly aggressive there, coming out. They're looking to swing away at that turret. Then Decay with the Deadeye, finding Slime, putting down some damage as well. Great heals from that backline of Bebe and Closer, keeping Mag up. Got pretty low there. They're going to force the Mayhem all the way back. In fact, they're going to go ahead and demech Gargoyle. And Gargoyle is going to go ahead and jump over the side of the ledge there to reset.
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge play right there. Mag living with 50 health, a beautiful immortality coming out from Bebe, and then the heals coming through from Bebe and Closer as well. Getting the job done, keeping Mag alive. Not, again, very few ultimates used. The Justice doing a very good job using their ult economy.
That's the Mayhem going off to the right-hand side once again. And there's Yaki's ult on the Torbjorn, Molten Core all over. And Justice is going to drop back to the point. Florida's going to have to try to push up. Now Justice at 80% here on the second point. They have held possession the entire way. Very impressive performance here from the Justice. Yaki trying to put more and more damage down, but Fury and Decay picking up kills on the side of the Mayhem. And they're going to be in trouble as Justice hit the 99% mark. It's now into overtime, and Decay has that Deadeye up once again. And he's not even going to need to use it. The Justice are going to go ahead, and that's going to be a clean point B on Oasis, a 100% to 0. And that is a map 1 win for the Washington Justice.
Yeah, big play there from the Justice to open things up. A big map win on Oasis. And again, this is a map these two teams have split. Florida won it back in May. The Justice won it most recently in June with a 2-0. Keeping that trend going as we move into July with a nice 2-0 win here as well.
Absolutely. So again, if you tuned in for the co-stream here on Friday, obviously it was a rough go-around for this team. They had a very short turnaround. They had Saturday to prep, a little bit this morning as well. They had to practice. They had to get their heads right. They had to get their strategy. And so far, so good. You have to be pretty happy with what we're seeing. As we're going to throw it back here. They're not going to show us a highlight of the game, which was a little upsetting there because everyone loves highlights. But yeah, I mean, I feel like Mag played incredibly well on Reinhardt. Definitely bouncing back after a subpar performance. I feel like Mag would agree to that comment as well there from the Reign matchup on Friday, bouncing back, having a very good performance here on that tank front line on Oasis, really helping them lead to the big win here on map 1, giving them that early advantage against another team that's struggling in the Florida Mayhem. But so far, like, you have to be excited with the way this team has bounced back after the 3-0 defeat to Atlanta on Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. It's only one map so far, so we're not going to get ahead of ourselves, but they did look very clean on that first map, really coming out, dominating Florida. There's a little bit of back and forth there on the first point, but in the end, the Justice, using their ultimates as effectively as they did, allowed them to set up for a nice recap and then eventually a hold. Next up on the radar, though, John, is Route 66. This is one of those escort maps that we, not necessarily this map in particular, but this mode of escort has been one we've struggled with a bit this year. Rialto in particular comes to mind. We've really struggled on that map. A little bit of a struggle here and there on Hollywood at times. Not a clean escort map, but the escort portion of that map has been a struggle. So moving on to Route 66, I think this is, of the maps on the radar today, this is the one I'm probably most nervous about.
Yeah, and I think rightfully so. Escort has definitely been the map that the Justice have really struggled with. Again, they're 100% capable of playing escort maps. They know exactly what they need to do. It's just coming down to communication execution. And sometimes it's just not there. It's tough, It's just like when you're at home playing with your friends, you're playing Overwatch. You're one day, you're playing Route 66. It feels like you can't lose, and then the next day, you can't even get to the first checkpoint. And sometimes you can't even get out of the village in Junkertown. It's really, really tough, and that just comes down to being able to adapt, being able to do it quickly, making those changes when you need to, and sometimes even on the pro level, stuff happens. So. again, I feel like Justice fans have the right to be nervous going into an escort map, but also being cautiously optimistic. Again, knowing the talent level that this team has when you have a Decay, an Assassin, when you have a Mag, and you have one of the, the two of the best healers in the entire league, making one of the best support lines that you have in the game. You have to be cautiously optimistic here. I mean, you have to know this team is capable of turning around at any moment. And why not today? Why not right now against the Florida Mayhem? Why not exercise those demons here real quick and figure out the escort map here on Route 66? Go up 2-0. I mean, what better way to set off fireworks here on July 4th than, going up 2-0 against the Florida Mayhem? I'm not going to go ahead and jinx anything, so I'm not going to go any farther than that. But, why not do that? Why not start the celebration here early and start it right now on a map that we haven't played on before, but it's a mode that the Justice have struggled on. Why not turn it around right now?
And again, it's this map type, so they're going to be changing things each time. If something doesn't work out, the coaching staff is going to change something. The players might change the way they communicate. Maybe they change a composition. Eventually, we're going to have one that clicks. So you look at the way we played on Gibraltar, it's been a little rough so far this season. Again, Rialto has been one we played on multiple times that's been a little bit rough. Even in Havana, we've had a few, some really good wins there, but also some rougher games too. Now coming into this one, and again, Route 66, we've either played here once, maybe not at all, not 100% sure on that. But coming in, it's been this type of map that we've struggled with. I want to see them make more changes. What is going to be our new approach coming into this? How can we come out a little bit stronger than we have before? Because typically it's the first part that we get stuck on. It's that initial push. It's once we get past that initial push that we're looking pretty good and we usually get it all the way. It's just getting to that first push and making that first checkpoint that seems to be the struggle.
All right, map number 2. Justice up 1-0 in the series. It's time to head over to Route 66. Again, escort map that, as Joey and I were just saying, I'd like to see some improvements here today from the Justice. Hopefully taking the win here on map 2 at Route 66, turn around some of those struggles. Looking at the lineups here, does not look like there are any substitutions coming in on either side, so it'll be the same starting 6 for both sides. Again, just to recap on Oasis, a clean 2-0 sweep on Oasis with the second point being a clean 100-0 in favor of the Washington Justice. It always feels good when you cap early and you hold it for the duration. And now we head on over to Route 66 and Big Earl's 24-hour service, no refunds diner gas station kind of thing in there. So it's going to be very exciting. Again, I tried to go back through all the maps here from what we've played this season. Didn't see Route 66 pop up, so it'll be kind of interesting. We'll see if heading over to one of the OG maps here in Overwatch makes a difference here or not. But it is time to push a cart, and the Justice are going to be up first as they will be pushing, and the Mayhem will be playing defense.
So I think one thing's for certain. I do not think we see Decay coming out with the Symmetra. I think that's going to be more of a defensive pick. I don't think we see it here. At least for now, he is going to hover Hanzo, it looks like, with Assassin returning to Echo. I'm a big fan of Assassin's Echo. I think he plays it phenomenally, so I do hope we stick to that pick.
Oh,
but we're not going to, of course. We're going to switch to the May, which does work very effectively here as well. But I feel like his level of Echo play just takes it to another level. He always knows when to use that ultimate, and he uses it for such big turns of events. He's able to really completely change the pace of the game when he uses that ultimate. On May, again, Blizzard is a huge ultimate as well. He can definitely have a similar impact, but it doesn't quite bring as much, not necessarily RNG, but variety to the table.
There you go. Right at the last second, Assassin going back to Echo. Joey, you got your wish. We're going to see Assassin's Echo here as well. So Decay will be coming out on the Hanzo, and it'll be Orisa, Sigma, Baptiste, and Mercy finishing out for the Justice here on the initial push phase on Route 66.
Okay, so Pharah and Mercy is called Pharmacy. What are we calling Echo and Mercy here?
Ooh, you know, that's a great question. I never actually thought of that. Like, it doesn't sound as good. Like Echo C, like it doesn't work. It,
Come on, chat. What do we call
this? I just don't know.
So far, a nice little push coming out here from the Justice. They have taken over this gas station that Soldier 76 is not named after, and they're going ahead and move it toward this door. And again, the biggest part that we've had issues with on escort maps has been getting this first checkpoint. They are moving up, and they're getting very close already.
Yeah, first checkpoint secured for the Justice. They'll have just under 5.5 to get to the next one. It is a little bit farther away. A little more high ground that they're going to have to battle through. As they're making their way through those first gates now. Heading into the Wild West Village here on Route 66. Okay, taking a look to find out where they are. Sees them sneaking around that back building.
It's still quite a bit of ways to go on ultimates for both sides. It looks like the closest one is going to be Florida Mayhem's Baptiste ult, which is now becoming available, but nothing else really available to be used on either side.
Yeah, 2 big kills there for Florida on Assassin and Mag. That's going to slow things down just a little bit for the Justice. Yaki is ready with that Pulse Bomb. BQB switches over to that Widowmaker. So we'll be looking for those sight lines as well. Something else that the Justice will have to keep an eye on. This closer gets Bebe rezzed. That card's going to continue to push after a little bit of a scrum there towards the beginning of that second phase here on the push.
Closer barely keeping Decay alive there. He almost went down. It looked like about 10 HP left, but he's going to come back and get a kill, taking down Yaki on Tracer.
Now BQB on that Widow using those sight lines. Of course, there's a shield there blocking the Justice from any damage, courtesy of Fury.
Florida Mayhem going with a little bit of a hybrid defense here. A few up top and a few down low. We're going to see some nice ultimates come out with Fury's big Sigma ult coming on top of Mags as well.
Yeah, picking up the double kill, that's big. That's going to help push the card a little bit more coming around that bend. Looking to get to the second check mark. Still just over 3 minutes to go to get to the second checkpoint. And you have to be happy with this push here. After capping that early, get to the early checkpoint, the first checkpoint pretty quickly. Now they're going to do it here just under about 2.5 minutes from their time bank in the second phase. Justice making the most of their time. This next part that a lot of people tend to have an issue with is Decay. Gets stuck by that Pulse Bomb by Yaki. But it's okay, because Fury and Assassin's taking down their tank line. Checkmate and Gargoyle dropping down. Fury taking down the Baptiste.
Yeah, honestly, Fury does not get enough credit for his Sigma. His Sigma is phenomenal. We've seen it absolutely pop off on maps like Volskaya. He's played it on Havana before. It's just such a good pick, and he's so good at finding ways to lay down big DPS on it, as well as use his shield and ultimate so effectively.
Under 4 minutes on the time bank here to complete the push. You have to feel pretty good here for the Justice. Those first 2 phases, all according to plan.
Yeah, and again, this is a Justice team that has historically struggled on these escort-style maps on this roster. They've had a tough time really getting to that first checkpoint. In this one, they found that first checkpoint early. They've already found that second checkpoint, and they're pushing their way onto the final one with 3:30 left to play with.
It's a great Sigma ult that's going to delay the Mayhem from trying to get back in time. Getting around that last corner is that payload right now. Just has that straightaway to go. As Checkmate stayed a little bit too long, didn't have any real support with them. The card's going to continue to push. Assassin and Mag both with their ults ready to go. Bebe as well. And Closer not too far behind. It's only Yaki and Gangnam Jin with the ults on the side of Florida.
Yeah, no one else super close either. Gargoyle, the next closest at 75%, while for the Justice, they have quite a few. They're going to pop Mags, Orisa ult now. Assassin's still available as well as Bebe's.
Fury and Mag both taking down Slime and Checkmate. This could be the final push here for the Justice. They are so close to completing this map. 2 on the payload. It's continuing to push. They're looking to hold the Mayhem off, and they almost so close. 0.6 away. They fooled me. I've been bamboozled, Joey.
Yeah, but you know what has not bamboozled us is Assassin on Echo. That one got me a little tongue twister. This is why I want to see Assassin play Echo. Did you guys see that? The beautiful switch to Sigma absolutely pins the Ashe of BQB into the corner, just lets the ultimate finish her off, just turns around and knows the kill is coming through. Then he goes on and pushes on to spawn, does not allow Florida to respond. The Justice cap it off cleanly.
That is a clean push from start to finish. All 3 checkpoints there. Plus a 2-minute and 12-second time bank. That definitely feels good here on the Escort map. Now it's time for the Justice to play a little defense. Something they've been pretty good at. And if we see the same kind of defense that we saw back on Oasis, especially on that second point where it's a clean 100-0 hold, the Mayhem may be in for some difficulties here early in the Escort map, but we'll find out here soon.
Yeah, the biggest thing from the Justice push is that Mayhem were not able to really get too much of their ultimate charges available prior to the Justice hitting that first checkpoint. What the Justice need to do here is hold a lot more effectively. Even if they give up that first checkpoint, they want to be a lot closer to their ults than Florida was when they had to get to the defense part.
Hanzo, Echo, Orisa, Baptiste, Sigma, and Brig on the side of the Justice. There's no way Yaki is staying on Pharah. I just don't see that happening.
You never know.
You never know.
Unlikely, but you never know.
Yep, and there it is. There's a switch back to Tracer. There you go. As much as I would love to see that, because this is one of those maps where you can easily knock people off the edge if they're playing a little bit too close. Like normally, we saw when the Justice were on offense, the Mayhem try to hold that bridge and the cave just to the left of the initial push point, but the Justice over here actually coming down closer to that ledge, so that knockback could have been really big if they stayed on Pharah. But the Justice, okay, taking a page out the incredible aggression from the Justice, really pushing the Mayhem like they're stuck on their spawn. It's literally spawn camping. It's what's happening right now.
And this is exactly what you want to see. Again, Florida played way too cushioned against the Justice. The Justice were able to take it right to them. Florida didn't even get a single ult outside of Baptiste available for the next push. This time on the Justice side, you're already charging up those ultimates. Mostly everyone already around 50% or higher, and Florida is just now starting to push this out of their spawn.
Man, BQB didn't even stand a chance, came right out of spawn and was killed instantly. Now the cart finally being pushed around that first corner. Under 3 minutes on the initial push time for the Mayhem left. The Justice will hold above the gas station as it comes around that corner. Decay so close to that ultimate, should have it here in just the next few seconds. Is in prime position to use that ultimate. And there it goes, Dragons coming out. Not catching anyone, but it's enough to push the Mayhem off the cart for a bit. It's going to slow the roll just for a few moments.
Yeah, and sometimes that's enough. Even if you don't trade a kill on it, it does mess up the opponent's positioning sometimes. It does look like Florida's going to respond pretty quickly here and push in on the Justice, though.
They have hit the 2-minute mark here. Yaki taking down Bebe. And Bob coming out for BQB. That's going to be a good team win there for the Mayhem. That's going to earn them the first checkpoint. Now they'll have just over 4 minutes between this checkpoint and the second checkpoint here on Route 66.
Yeah, and if you're the Justice here, I think you're feeling fine. You do have some ultimates to work with, which, again, Florida did not have on their defense after that first capture. Assassin's ult is up. You also have Fury Sigma ult up and Closer's Brigitte ult up as well.
Now it's Florida trying to be the aggressors here, playing up high, waiting for the Justice to come out of the spawn area. Yaki's ready with that pulse bomb. They'll have to be careful not to group up. Sigma ult comes out. Catches a couple players, but No deaths coming from it, but it's going to be Yaki with the pulse bomb taking down Bebe. BQB and Yaki as well taking down Mag. That's going to be a good team fight win for the Mayhem. It's going to continue their push here. Now with just over 3 minutes to go and more than halfway through the second phase.
It looks like Decay is going to give up on that Hanzo, switch over to another hit scan in McCree. I personally would rather see the Tracer coming out here, but he did play the McCree quite well on the last map. We'll see how it translates over here.
Second checkpoint secured. 4:15 roughly to go for the Mayhem to complete the push. Justice did it with 2:12 remaining. Now Decay's looking to sneak around from the back end. Florida doesn't see them. He's going to come back. Yaki found out where Decay was hiding.
Looks like they're looking at a little bit of a hybrid, split 3-3 on both sides at the moment as they try to find a way onto that Justice defense, which is holding pretty strong so far.
Now Yaki's got that pulse bomb ready to go once again. I just have to be careful and play around that. Now with 3.5 to go for the Florida Mayhem on the final phase here on Route 66. BQB on Ash with a shotgun that has incredible range. Trying to lay down that damage, trying to push the Justice back.
This is going to be the Mayhem push here. You have the Tracer Pulse Bomb coming out, as well as the Ash ult and the Brigitte ult. They're going for it all.
Mag taking out Checkmate as well. BQB responds by taking down Assassin. Fury's looking to hold strong on Sigma. Putting some damage down on BQB. Ash has to run away. BQB is not going to last too much longer. And Justice are going to hold on. Decay picking up the double kill. Fury and Mag picking up one as well. An Assassin, that's going to be a nice hold for the Justice. That's going to slow them down quite a bit, but a lot of ults had to be used. Assassin and Decay still have theirs available.
Yeah, ults used across the map on both sides. That cart starting to push out of that final checkpoint area, and as you mentioned, Decay and Assassin both getting their ults up right at the end of the fight, holding on to him for the next.
Yaki and Checkmate should have their ults at some point towards the end of this next team fight. On the side of Florida, everyone else is still pretty far away. Assassin using his ult as well. Fury and Decay picking up 2 kills.
Justice just pushing up really aggressively here, not even letting him into the corner choke point at the moment, just not allowing them to split up like they did last time and allow them to push onto that final checkpoint as the cart continues to push away from it.
Approaching 1:30 here in the next few seconds left in the time bank for the Florida Mayhem. So far, the Justice have already held them better than what Miami did. Again, 2:12 in the Justice's time bank, but that may not even be an option here if the Justice can hold them off in the next 1:24.
Yeah, keep an eye on that Yaki Tracer Pulse Bomb. That one could be a difference maker. A few ults getting close for the Justice, though. Fury's almost up once again.
And Decay taking out Gargoyle with the Deadeye. Trying to hold them back. They're running away. Mag's not going to let him. It's a double kill for Mag. Fury picking one up on Checkmate as well. Fury and Mag just absolutely going off. Strong tanks here for the Washington Justice, carrying that last fight. Now they're under a minute to go with the Florida Mayhem.
Let's go, Justice fans. This is the final hold here into that final minute. Mayhem with a couple ults to work with. Again, Yaki's Tracer still has the ultimate available. They have a number of other ultimates getting very close as well, so quite a few tools to work with. On the side of the Justice, you do have Fury's ult, which can be used very effectively on a defensive side, and Bebe's ult up as well. Closer getting close. Florida definitely having the ult advantage here for this final fight, though.
Yaki's Pulse Bomb actually missing. It's a big miss there for the Florida Mayhem. This may be their last push with 15 seconds left. And Fury just absolutely popping off on Sigma. Mag's going to get the kill on Gargoyle, and the Mayhem are constantly split. They're on 2 sides. of the cart. They have to get back quick, and it looks like it's going to be Yaki back there in time. BQB falling down to Assassin. Overtime is slowly ticking away, and so is the health of the Mayhem. As they're all starting to fall now, the Justice look like they're going to hold on here. Assassin, Bebe, Meg, everyone picking up kills in this final fight, and the Justice will close out Route 66. It is then. They are now up 2-0 in the series.
All fueled up and ready to go from Route 66. John, we got the win on the Escort map. We were asking for that. On top of that, we got 2 of the 3 picks we were asking for. Assassin did end up playing that Echo, and we did see some great changes here and there as well. Decay not pulling out the Tracer in the end, but I'm pretty happy with Fury on that Sigma for that final slot. Overall, they look very good. And again, Escort being that struggle mode for us so far this season, starting to turn things around with a nice win here against the Mayhem.
And oh, look, they're going to grace us with highlights this time. It's going to be Bebe on Baptiste, who technically is a support player, but is laying down the damage as well, picking up the assists all over the place. Well done, Bebe. And again, if you missed it here at the top of the show, we are going to be having Bebe join us at the end of the at the end of the match for the post-game press conference. Pending a win, and Joey, I'm not going to jinx anything, but we're up 2-0. Feeling pretty confident. But if they can close it out here, next map 4, map 5, who knows? We don't know. You know, Bebe will be joining us. If it somehow does not happen, which, let's be real here, it's not going to happen. You know, Bebe will be joining us at the end of the press conference. So
just let it be known that John caster cursed this one. If anything goes
absolutely
wrong,
not. There's no caster curse. I didn't actually say the word that would give the curse, so we're fine. We're all good there. So that is a 2-0 series lead so far for the Washington Justice, taking the win on the first control map of Oasis. 2-0, a clean sweep there, and on Route 66 it's a 3-2 win on Route 66, giving the 2-0 lead to the Washington Justice. Joey, I mean, a lot of those issues we saw on escort maps for the Washington Justice seem to disappear here on Route 66. Whether it's just the team they were going up against or not, anytime you perform that well like we saw today on the offensive end and the defensive end on a map, on a type of map that you know you've been struggling on, that gives you confidence. That gives you that morale boost that you need going into your next map. That lets you know, hey, yeah, we still got this. We still know what we need to do down at the most basic level, and they executed incredibly well. And you know, can't say enough about I'm blanking. Who's playing Sigma again? That was
Fury Sigma.
Fury
is a
Fury
monster.
Sigma was absolutely insane. His control of the ult and when he used it was clutch in multiple team fights there, even on the defensive end there for the Washington Justice. It was absolutely fantastic. I want to see more of that. Fury on Sigma was absolutely great. They played around it incredibly well. It's an overall great team performance, one that we so desperately wanted to see on an escort map. So feeling pretty good here. You know, felt pretty good after that Oasis map, feeling even better now after Route 66. And now, Joey, we're turning our attention to Temple of Anubis, a.k.a. Draw Anubis is the nickname back in the OG days for Overwatch on the Assault map. So it's going to be interesting. Again, we saw a very different aggressive Justice team so far on the first 2 maps. They're not afraid to push up. They're not afraid to take chances. They're not afraid to make the Mayhem feel uncomfortable. If they can replicate that again here on Anubis, they could possibly close it out in 3.
Yeah, I mean, looking back to the last time they played, so back in week 8, we did end up going to Anubis in this matchup. That was the same week that the Justice did take down the Mayhem 3-0. Anubis was a 2-1 in favor of the Justice. It took Florida forever to cap the first point, and then in the end, they were not able to cap off that second point. The Justice ran through the first point very quickly. Took a little bit of time on the second point, but in the end, finished off with a pretty healthy time bank available. I'm hoping we see something similar. I mean, the way they played Anubis last time, I think, was very creative. They ended up taking a pathway that not too many teams are taking in the meta at the moment. I'm curious if Florida is more prepared for that potential pathway, or if they do go back to that standard go left when you eventually come out of that gate.
Absolutely. We will definitely have to take a look at that as well. And just as a reminder, the next official Washington Justice co-stream will be coming up this Friday, July 9th, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Be absolutely fantastic. So we'll be taking on the London Spitfire for the first time this season. Be very excited to see our friends from London going up against them. It'll be very fun. Again, that will be July 9th, this upcoming Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Mark it down appropriately, and we will see you back here on the official Washington Justice co-stream as well. Now, Joey, heading into Anubis, we touched on it a little bit here. The Justice are very good on these kinds of maps. We saw back on Hanamura several weeks ago. Feels like old news now, but I have to bring it up. The 6-minute hold on point B was very, very impressive by this Justice team. We talked to Pri about it. We talked to some of the players about it as well, about how much mental strength and fortitude it takes to know when to hold on to your ultimates instead of just using them when you feel like you need to use them, and using it as a team, and not just using it just for the fact that you have it. And about how that's really how they did it, how they were able to play defense on point B for 6+ minutes. It was a very impressive hold. So this team, we've said it before, we'll say it again, very, very impressive with their defense and their offense. But it feels like, these are the maps they really excel on.
Yeah, absolutely. And Pri in particular was talking about Bebe's use of the Ana ult, which was absolutely phenomenal on Hanamura. It really ended up being a huge difference maker. I believe it was used on Mags Winston quite a few times in that defense, and it was just what was needed to make the hold effective, and it ended up happening time and time again to get that amazing hold on Hanamura. Now over to Anubis. Hopefully we can just hold them on point A and just end it right there. We'll see if they are able to capture that one and move on. They did struggle last time to get that first point. They being Florida, as the Justice had a phenomenal defense on this map, as well as a very aggressive attack where they took point A very quickly. And then a couple attacks later, they ended up taking that second point as well. We'll see what they bring strategy-wise, as again, the meta has shifted a bit since we last saw them here.
Absolutely. We are loading in to Anubis. Today's Assault map. And of course, they're going to bring this up. Time Bank, all-time, third best, the Mayhem against the Justice in 2020. Again, completely different team, completely different roster. These are just facts that the Overwatch League likes to throw up there to waste time. It's fine. It's fine. I understand what you're doing. They don't really, represent the current team, but it's fine. It's fine. Do what you got to do. We'll be here to correct you. It's fine. So we will head into Anubis. I believe it'll be the Justice attacking first. No, they'll be on defense first. Look at that. Blizzard got me. I make one comment, and Blizzard's like, you know what? We're going to prove you wrong. You're going to start on defense there. So Justice on defense, Florida Mayhem on the attack. I almost feel like starting on defense is better. You know exactly what you have to do. If you're able to hold them to 1 point, then okay, I got to get 1 point, and I got to beat whatever they were able to get on point B. Simple as that. They weren't able to get point A. Guess what? All you have to do is get the first third on point A, and then boom, it's a win. I feel like it's definitely a disadvantage going first on attack. My own personal preference, liking to play defense first on these kinds of maps.
Yeah, I'm more of a defense first person as well. I think it's just a little bit easier, as you said, to know what you're really aiming for. It looks like BQB Sombra is getting a little cheeky here early on, trying to go behind to see what the setup is looking like for the Justice.
But also Decay back on Tracer. Super excited to see Decay back on Tracer. Assassin bringing out that Echo once again. That Echo that was an absolute nightmare for the Mayhem last map. And Assassin's looking to pick up where he left off. Looks like they're going to try to go straight.
Florida's not really looking to play any games here. They usually go to the left, at least the last couple of times we've seen them play this map. This time going for the right side house and then jumping kind of back around. Not really quite sure what they're going for here.
It's kind of like we're going to fake right and go middle and go right into that choke point, and then they decided to go back right, and now they're kind of stuck. And now they're kind of going to die because BQB, Yaki are just dropping like flies. Checkmate had to back off, struggling on health as well. They're all over the place. It feels like they're just not communicating right now. The Justice are just really punishing them.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that was. If that was miscommunication on the team or if they were just trying to fake the Justice out. Regardless, we do have Mag back on that Winston, and an ult is available.
And Assassin popping the Echo ult, duplicating that Diva. It's going to cause some issues there for the Mayhem as they're trying to regroup. They're trying to do something. I'm not quite sure what it is because they're kind of all over the place. I mean, Mayhem is definitely an appropriate name, but unfortunately the only mayhem they're causing is with themselves.
Now, they do have a couple ults to work with now. Yaki's Tracer ult is available. You're going to have Checkmate's Winston ult and the Diva ult now up. Slime's getting pretty close on that Lucio ult too. So Florida's going to have some tools to work with here for this first point. Typically, the first point falls pretty quickly in the Overwatch League. The Justice being one of those teams that, at least to my opinion, based on what I've seen, is one of the better defensive teams on this particular point. But Florida is going to go ahead and push onto it.
Mag going Primal is going to fall down while in his ultimate form. Trying to knock them around, but the first tick, it will be completed for the Mayhem. Looks like they will get the second one here. And Justice kind of staggered at the moment. Trying to delay it as long as they possibly can to see if they can try to hold it here on point A. A checkmate on Winston's proving to be a little more than they can handle at the moment. That'll be point A for the Mayhem. They'll rush over to point B.
And that's a little bit of a change as well, seeing the Winston. So now you have Checkmate on the main tank playing the off tank previously. They kind of switch back and forth with Checkmate being a previous DPS player coming over from OG Gaming of Contenders. They're moving on to this pretty quickly, though, John. Not a big fan of this. I hope the Justice are able to set up here in just a second.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to be aggressive here. I mean, that's what the Atlanta Reign did to the Justice, and that's, you know, really something that the Justice struggled with. So maybe this is a page out of that Reign book that they were possibly watching in their their off day when that game was being played, and maybe they're trying to pull that out here to see if it can work in their favor too.
And it does look like the Justice have been able to regain their composure. A nice little Diva ult coming out from Fury to push the Mayhem off the point. Mayhem tried to return it with a Gargoyle Diva ult, unfortunately not getting much out of that as the Justice regained control. They did see one tick go in favor of the Florida Mayhem, though.
Yeah, almost two full ones you can see by that little arrow almost at the end of the second tick mark for point B. Just over 3 minutes to go for the Florida Mayhem left in their time bank. Decay and Assassin with their ults ready to go. Slime on the side of the Florida Mayhem has his up as well. And Assassin will go ahead and use his right now. It takes the form of Diva. Assassin and Decay both picking up kills. Going to push back the Mayhem a little bit more. Assassin getting several kills there. Not with the ultimate, but in the baby Diva form picking up some nice kills. Decay still with the pulse bomb. Fury just a couple percentages away, and Assassin's going to flex over to the Sombra. I feel like this is a great point to use it on. Not too many places they can run away from that EMP blast.
Yeah, but it's going to take a while to get there, and it looks like the Mayhem are moving on. They go ahead and pop Slime's Lucio ult, able to gain some control, but not quite overtaking the point yet.
Decay is hacked. Have to wait a little bit till that goes away before you can use the pulse bomb. Florida Mayhem are now backing out once again. Good hold by the Justice. K, Mag, and Bebe ready to go with their ults. BQB, Yaki, and Gangnam Jin ready to go. Gargoyle not too far behind, along with Checkmate, who just reached 100% on the Primal Rage. Mago and Primal smacking around the Mayhem off the point. Doing everything he can to delay this as much as possible. Big fight breaking out on the point. Mag dropping down. Running a little low on health. He'll jump back up to the point looking for some heals. He'll get it from Bebe and Closer. It's going to be another big win for the Washington Justice, holding off that push. Just over a minute left for the Florida Mayhem. About 1:10 to go.
Yeah, really big hold there, and they're going to have some ults to work with. That Assassin Sombra ult is now finally available. Decay's Pulse Bomb up as well. Fury getting very close at about 95%, and Closer's going to go ahead and pop as well.
Under a minute to go, and the Justice are doing a great job holding them off the point. Assassin using that EMP, catching 4 in that EMP blast. And a lot of damage is going to come down. Assassin and Fury, Decay all popping off.
30 seconds remaining.
Now 30 seconds to go, and the Justice with that strong defense once again, only allowing 1 tick here on point B. They're going to have to roughly get to about 65% here on point B if they want to close it out here in 3 maps. That is pending
This is
anything
going to be
happening
the
here in
final
last
push coming in from Mayhem here.
Yaki, the only one up with the ult right now. Gangnam Jin just his ult as well. Slime will have it back as soon as he responds. BQB will be eliminated very quickly. That's an EMP down for them. They'll have to wait for him to pop back up.
That is just Assassin styling at the end there, popping the Sombra with no one even in the area. A beautiful hold there from the Justice. They did give up the first tick, not quite giving up the second tick, able to hold on there. So to see them win, John, you said it a bit earlier, they need to take the first point, then they need to push that second point, particularly if they can get that second tick just about. That will go ahead and give them the win here on Anubis.
Decay picking up that double kill at the end. God, you have to enjoy seeing Decay back on Tracer with that pulse bomb. Actually, it wasn't even the pulse bomb that got him. It was just a straight pistol kill on a melee, I believe. Very, very solid performance there from Decay. Now they will switch. It's Justice's turn to press. They know exactly what they need. They need point A and about 65% on point B. They're able to do that. We'll be shooting off fireworks here early tonight. Taking a look at Fury on D.Va at that last point. Just being an absolute menace.
Yeah, this was that D.Va ult that really was a huge difference maker. Florida had the Justice pushed all the way back into the spawn. Fury able to get down that D.Va ult, push them off the point, allow the Justice to regain composure. Had that D.Va ult not come out right then, I think Mayhem would have capped off that second point pretty quickly. Fury, once again, a vital player in today's series.
Perfectly timed ult, holding them off.
And this is pretty standard overall, but you do have Fury coming out once again with the Sigma. He's been playing that phenomenally today. He didn't play it on the attack. It just doesn't quite work as well on attack on this map, but it is back out for the defense, pairing that up with the shields coming out of Mag's Orisa. I like this setup here. From what we're seeing so far, it looks like they're just trying to move in, but Florida going with a standard setup up on top, high right side.
And Justice taking their time going through that first initial choke point. Now they'll finally make their way in. So they're thinking about favoring that right side room. Now it's going to be Florida jumping down, meeting them at that initial choke point.
Florida's going to go ahead and jump down, as you said, John, and they're going to pop quite a few ults to make it happen. Initially on the jump down, they were hoping for a couple picks. They did get one pick on Bebe. That was not enough to turn the Justice away, though, as the Justice have been able to push them right back, even after that Baptiste ult came down from Gangnam Jin.
Absolutely, and it's another ult from Fury on Sigma. Fury taking down Gargoyle as well as they're now pushing on to the point. Fury picking up the double kill, taking down Checkmate also. Tank line is down for the Mayhem. The Justice are making their way through point A right now, and the Mayhem they really don't have anyone to challenge.
And this is exactly what we saw last time the Justice and the Mayhem played this map. The Justice come out with a very aggressive attack. It took a few seconds longer here to get through the gate than we saw last time, but once they got through that gate, Florida ended up using some ultimates. It wasn't enough damage coming down from them, so the Justice easily countered, pushed right onto point A, got some key kills, and then eventually got a very clean cap. Now already onto point B with just about 5 minutes to work with here.
Yeah, Decay and Assassin with their ults ready to go. Mag just hitting 100% as well. Fury at 50%. On the side of the Florida Mayhem, it's BQB. Yaki who's going to go ahead and trigger the Blizzard as well. Gargoyle with the ult up also. An Assassin duplicating. Sigma not going to last too long there. So that push for the Justice is going to come to a quick end. We'll have to reset.
And the nice thing with having so much time is you're going to be able to maybe try a different comp if this one doesn't quite work. Work out for you early on. Max will and play come through as well.
Fury on Sigma looking to push back in. BQB with the Deadeye ready to go as well. So Decay will go ahead and send the Dragons in. Trying to push the Mayhem back just a bit. Around that initial entry point. As Mag's caught up in Gargoyle's ultimate, but that Immortality Shield by Bebe, well played there, will keep a lot of the team alive. BQB's Deadeye, nothing comes of that as the Justice look to push onto the point now. Now Fury using his ultimate as well. Assassin taking down Checkmate. Slime and Yaki are going to go ahead and return the favor there. Can't quite get that first tick mark for the Justice. The Mayhem respawn back pretty quickly after what looked to be a good push from the Justice. Held off by the Mayhem.
And it doesn't look like many changes are going to come through here. This is about the time. Now, they still have some time to work with. There's about 250 left. I personally would love to see Mag switch over to like a Winston or Reinhardt here. I think Orisa works well because you can move the shield up as you slowly progress onto the point. But personally, Mag, we know he's one of the best Winstons, if not the best Winston in the league. Winston works very effectively on this map, so I would love to see him switch to that in time to get that Monkey ultimate available to play with a little bit later on.
And Justice going through that left side here on point B. Look to push on to the point. Yaki has the pulse bomb ready to go. They have to be careful about that. Assassin taking down BQB. Taking the form of Tracer now, looking to add a little bit more damage. It's Decay and Mag. Mag picking up the double kill. Decay and Furiol picking up kills as well, and that's going to do it. That turned around very quick, and that is going to be a 3-0 series win for the Washington Justice.
Yeah, you don't need Mag to switch over to Winston when you have Assassin absolutely popping off on Echo. Big plays there from Assassin at the end, coming out of that room onto the point, able to get a lot done. And again, his Echo is phenomenal. We talk so much about Mag's Winston being so good. We talk about Fury playing really well on both Diva as well as Sigma. Assassin's Echo is so good. It's right up there, honestly, with Decay's Tracer for me. Decay is phenomenal Tracer, but Assassin, ever since we switched over to Echo in the meta, he has come out so clutch in so many team fights.
A very solid win. Bouncing back after not the best showing on Friday against the Atlanta Reign. Comes back and drops a 3-0 win on the Florida Mayhem. It was a very, very solid performance for the Justice. You have to be happy about that. 3-0 win. That feels good, especially on the 4th of July. America's team, if you will. Right here in Washington, D.C., picking up the win on Independence Day, sending out virtual fireworks in-game as well as outside in the real world. Feels like later on tonight. It's very, very excited to see the Justice bounce back. After a rough match against the Reign here, and Fury's going to go ahead. Fury's going to go ahead and get player of the match here, and rightfully so. Diva play and Sigma play has been absolutely fantastic. The Sigma ults, can't say enough about the timing of these Sigma ults in these team fights. Really changed the course multiple fights. And then finally on the last point here in Anubis, that Diva ult really helped secure the hold on defense for the Justice, holding the Florida Mayhem to only 64% there on point B. It was absolutely fantastic. Fury definitely deserving of the player of the match award.
Yeah, Fury came up huge today. We've talked about it before. His Sigma is just next level. So well played. I would have Assassin very far up there as well. Again, his Echo coming through very clutch today as well. But Fury, you talked about his ultimate, but outside of the ultimate, just his way of using the big rock is also very effective, able to really clog doorways, scare people off of entrances. He bounces the balls very effectively too. He's just one of those really complete players on Sigma, able to really use the kit to its full capacity in a sense, able to unlock it and continue to push forward for his team, both defensively and offensively, coming up big today.
Absolutely. So with that, we're going to toss it to a very, very quick break. On the other side, it is going to be the post-game interview with Bebe. We'll go and get that confirmed here with the Justice staff here in just a few moments. But it'll be very exciting to have Bebe back on for the post-game show. Just be a few moments. We'll toss it over to a very quick break. But on the other side, we'll have Bebe with us. Stay tuned.
Oh my goodness! That is ridiculous. Comboed up with Jerry.
Fury self-destruct is through the point and it catches Violet.
Back, he's able to finish off 5 or 2, make it 3.
Oh, rise for justice.
right, welcome back to the post-match press conference. We are joined by Bebe. Bebe, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on the 3-0 today against the Florida Mayhem.
인터뷰 응해주신 거 감사하시고 오늘 메이엠 3대 0으로 이기신 거 승리 정말 축하드립니다. Thank you.
All right, so to start it off here, I want to talk about the escort maps for the Justice. Escort seems to be a mode that the team tends to struggle on from time to time. An example being Junkertown against the Rain on Friday. Today on Route 66, those issues seem to have been solved. What's the key to being successful on an escort map?
오늘 호위 맵에서 많은 팀들이 호위 맵에서 되게 힘들어하고 고군분투하고 뭐 그렇게 하는 모습을 많이 보여줬잖아요. 특히나 뭐 쓰레기총 같은 경우에서도 그렇고 저번에 애틀과의 경기에서도 그랬었고 그런데 오늘은 승리로 잘 이끌 수 있었어요. 그거에 이번 이길 수 있었던 핵심이 뭐였다고 생각하세요?
전 때는 스크림 때만큼은 저희가 그 경기력이 별로 안 나왔다 생각을 해서 이번에는 편하게 게임을 하자고 서로 얘기하고 게임 전에도 얘기를 많이 하고 해서 좀 편하게 해서 경기력이 좀 나쁘지 않았다라고 생각이 듭니다.
So, in the previous match against Atlanta, we couldn't show and prove our performance as well as we did in Scream. So we didn't play like in our favor. We didn't felt comfortable. So we talked about a lot of let's play more like comfortably and then let's feel comfortable while playing this map, and then that's what we did and how we solved this problem, and then that's how we pulled it off today.
Absolutely. And now I just want to talk a little bit about the current meta of Overwatch League. Last month, a lot of teams struggled to adapt with the hero bans being in place. Now with the hero bans removed, is it kind of a struggle to figure out what the new meta is, or is it as simple as let's go back to what worked back in the May Melee?
지난 한 달 동안 팀들이 히어로 밴이나 풀의 영향을 받으면서 이제 메타 적응에 힘들어하는 모습을 보였었어요. 근데 이제 썸머 쇼다운에 들어서면서 이제 히어로 밴이 이제 없어졌잖아요. 이번 메타가 어떻게 예전 5월 토너먼트 때로 돌아갈 것 같나요? 비슷할 것 같나요?
비슷한 메타나 조합도 있는 것 같고 조합도 있고 아니면은 5월에는 나오지 않은 새로운 조합이 또 이번에는 나오는 것 같아요.
Yeah, I would say it's sometimes it's similar in terms of meta and compositions. I would say yes, it's pretty similar. But also there's some new composition we didn't see in the May Melee tournament.
Excellent. So the Justice have made it through the May Melee, then they went through the June Joust, and now they're heading into the Summer Showdown and looking pretty strong throughout with a shaky week or two here and there. How does the team feel about its performances so far, and are you guys feeling confident heading into the rest of the summer?
맞습니다. 그래서 5월 토너먼트 또 6월 토너먼트 지나 이제 썸머 쇼다운에 접어들었는데요. 지금까지 스크림이나 경기력을 어떻게 바라보고 계신가요? 이번 썸머 쇼다운 자신 있으신가요?
썸머 쇼다운은 시작은 그렇게 막 좋진 않았지만 지금이라도 계속 연승을 이어나가서 잘 마무리를 해서 하와이에 갈 수 있으면 좋겠습니다.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good start, but I think that we can make it and we can make up for it, and then I think we can make a winning streak even from now on. So I think we can finish it in our favor and with the satisfied results, and then yeah, I want to make it to Hawaii this time.
Absolutely. We definitely have faith in you guys as well. And looking forward to some of the matches to come up. So next week, you guys are set to face off against the London Spitfire and the LA Gladiators, two teams that you have yet to face so far this season. with a week full of preparation ahead, is there anything in particular that you hope to work on as both an individual player and as a team to get ready for those matchups?
이제 다음 주에는 런던이랑 글래디의 경기를 앞두고 계시잖아요. 이번 시즌 모두 두 팀 다 처음 상대하는 팀일 텐데 경기에 임하기까지 이제 한 일주일 정도 남았어요. 특별히 개인적으로나 팀적으로나 이번 경기를 위해 준비하고 있는 것들이 계신가요?
상대를 경기하거나 맞춰 한다기보다는 우리 경기력이 좀 잘 나오면 다 이길 수 있다라는 생각을 하고 있습니다.
So instead of having that big awareness of playing against the opponent team, or like instead of thinking about that like we will counter to this opponent, instead of that, if we have the if we have good performance, then we can beat every team up. So like with that mindset, I think it will be good.
All right, sounds good. We cannot wait for those matchups. Baby, thank you so much for joining us. Again, a big congratulations on the 3-0 win today against the Florida Mayhem. Go out and enjoy the rest of the 4th of July with your teammates. Hopefully you guys get to see some fireworks, and we'll see you back here on Friday.
네, 오늘 메이엠 상대로 3대0 승리하신 거 정말 축하드리고, 오늘이 독립기념일인 만큼 밖에서 이제 불꽃놀이도 보시고 오늘 승리를 잘 즐기시길 바랍니다.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And thank you, Henny, as well, for translating for Bebe. We appreciate it as always, and we'll talk to you on Friday as well.
Thank you. See ya.
Thank you. Just a reminder, that match on Friday, this Friday the 9th, it's a 3 p.m. start against the London Spitfire. It'll be very exciting there. It'll be first time the Justice taking on the Spitfire. So it'll be very, very exciting. Joey, I feel pretty good here with the results that we had here today. Again, Bebe, always a great interview. Has some incredible insight into what's going on behind the team, behind the scenes with the team that he's able to share with us. It's such an open and clear interview with Bebe, and Henny assisting as well. As always fantastic. We heard, there's a lot of things that they were aware of that they need to change on the escort maps. Going up against two teams they haven't played. Yeah, there's going to be struggles. They've played Florida now 3 times. This was their 3rd meeting of the year. Now they're going to be going up against a team that they may have only scrimmed against. They don't know what they're like on stage. Yeah, they have, video that they can look on and prepare with, but there's nothing that simulates an on-stage performance against any of these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very interesting to hear about the approach as well. They're not thinking of it, and I'm sure from the coach's perspective, they're definitely thinking of each match as it comes. But from Bebe's perspective, talking about the team, they just want to be the best. They really don't care who is next, what opponent it is. If it's a bottom of the table opponent, the top of the table opponent, like someone like the San Francisco Shock as a repeat world champion, they just want to beat everyone. And they don't care how to do it. They just want to play the best of their Overwatch game and take it to everyone just like that. And I love that inspiration, that confidence coming out from him. If they hit the best, if they become the best at their roles, they become the best at their heroes, they'll definitely get the job done.
Absolutely. So with that, that's going to do it for the post-match press conference. Again, a big thank you to Bebe for joining us, and Henny as well for translating for us, getting all those awesome answers to those questions here for you, the Washington Justice fans. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure, if you're not doing so already, you're following the Washington Justice on social media and here on the official YouTube channel for the Washington Justice. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when all that awesome content is coming out. You'll be first to know about it. So again, hit that subscribe and notification bell here on the YouTube channel. That's going to do it for us. On behalf of Joey Courtside King McDermott, my name is John Fiasco Byram. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your 4th of July. I know we're going to go off and have a little barbecue cookout ourselves now at the end of the stream, and we will see you all this Friday. Have a good one.